You don't quit a weight loss journey because you're lazy. You quit a weight loss journey because you're impatient. You start your weight loss journey and you hop up on that scale every single day. And when that scale doesn't reflect the number that you like, you start moving the scale around the room because you're just like, the scale isn't reflecting the efforts that I put in on my weight loss journey, and then you just simply quit. Look, I get it because I just described every weight loss journey of my life. That scale kept me so discouraged because I thought it was the only way to measure progress on my weight loss journey. Only when I ditched the scale and decided to use other signs to measure my progress did I actually start to see results on my weight loss journey. In fact, I put away the scale and I lost 70 pounds in 9 months. I lost so much belly fat that I only really had loose skin left, and it was starting to impact my running and lifting. So I had the skin removed with the tummy tuck. And in total, I lost almost 90 pounds on my weight loss journey. So let me share with you exactly how I knew I was burning fat without the scale. When I started my weight loss journey, I did in fact put away the scale. I was determined that I wasn't gonna do the same things in past weight loss journeys that had failed. And one of those things that I did constantly was weighed myself every single day, multiple times a day. And that just drove me crazy and caused me to quit. So this time around, I put away the scale and I started to take progress photos. Now, I was required to take progress photos because I was following the 75 hard challenge, and you have to take a progress photo every day. Well, I started doing that and I started to save these progress photos in my phone. I got to the end of the challenge and I put my day 1 and my day 75 photo together, and I could not believe my eyes. I couldn't believe the transformation that I had in just the first 75 days. And then I got on the scale and realized I had lost 30 pounds. Now, in prior weight loss journeys, I would have been on the scale every single day. And the moment that that scale, slowed down, or the moment that the scale actually went up in numbers, I would have given up and quit. But because I put away the scale, it wasn't around to discourage me, and I was just simply able to focus on following good daily habits for the 75 days. And what happened? Because I was burning fat and I didn't quit, that fat loss added up over time. The work that I was putting in was compounding, and it resulted in me losing 30 pounds in 75 days. And so I knew once I put my day 1 and my day 75 progress photos side by side and I saw my transformation with my own 2 eyes, I knew for a fact that I had burned fat, and I didn't need the scale to tell me that. So I am absolutely a proponent of using progress photos instead of the scale to measure your progress. Now, another way that I knew that something was happening, I was burning fat and I was getting results on my weight loss journey without the scale, is that my cravings started to decrease. Now, what I did on my weight loss journey was I ate clean-ish, which means I ate mostly whole foods most of the time. And I focused on increasing protein. I actually started to drink more water, and then I eliminated processed sugar from my diet. Now, I still ate natural sugar, but I eliminated the processed sugar from my diet. And what happened when I started to do this big 3 combination was that my cravings just kind of went away. Like that food noise in my head that told me that it was time to eat constantly got quieter and quieter. And I was actually able to focus on things other than constantly snacking. And that was a real change for me. And so I knew that with this big 3, eating more protein, drinking more water, and eliminating that processed sugar from my diet, that my body was undergoing some sort of change. And it had to be a good change because I'm not constantly snacking. I'm not constantly thinking about food. I'm not constantly stuffing my face with foods that just aren't healthy for my body. And it didn't take the scale for me to figure out that something good was happening in my body. I also focused on getting more sleep on this weight loss journey. And I was always one of those people who try to survive off of 4 and 5 hours of sleep at night. I would cram my days full of activities, and then I would cut my sleep short because who has time for sleep? But what that meant was that I was always waking up groggy and low energy and always bloated around my midsection. This time around on my weight loss journey, I had to set a bedtime because I had to get up at 4 a.m. in order to do my first workout. What I did unknowingly was ensure that I was sleeping 7 hours every single night. And what started to happen was that I would wake up in the morning and I was full of energy. The alarm clock would go off at 4 a.m. and I would spring out of bed. And that was really different for me. You know, I would get up in the morning and change into my workout clothes and I would stand in the mirror and look. I was like, I'm looking a little slimmer. What I didn't realize and what I learned on this weight loss journey is that sleep is not a luxury. Sleep is a fat loss strategy. Your body waits until you go to sleep to perform the muscle building and the fat burning process. And so when you cut your sleep short, you're actually preventing your body from burning fat. But when you allow yourself to get at least 7 hours of sleep, then your body is able to burn the fat and then flush it out of your system overnight. Hence, you wake up less bloated than you would have had you not gotten adequate sleep. Now, for the first 75 days of my weight loss journey, I simply walked for exercise. I walked twice a day, 45 minutes each time. I was averaging about 10,000 steps. After the first 75 days, I started to run and strength train. I'm still staying off the scale and still trying to use other signs that I'm burning fat because I just didn't want to go back to that habit of weighing myself every day. Well, one day I was walking past a mirror and I had on my work suit and I realized that my work suit was too big. And I'm not talking about just a little too big, like I was swimming in these clothes, which was odd to me because I was already at this point a size 12. I had already sized down. I was a size 12. And so I thought it really odd. I'm like, why are these clothes so big on me? And so I decided to go back to the store where I purchased this suit and I tried on some smaller sizes. Come to find out, I was no longer a size 12. I was now a size 6. And it didn't take the scale for me to realize that I had burned off enough fat to lose 3 dress sizes. Now, because I wasn't on the scale every single day like I had been before in past weight loss journeys, I was just simply following my good daily habits. I was just so in the habit of exercising. I was so in the habit of eating clean, and it really didn't matter what the scale said because I wasn't getting on the scale, and so I didn't have it there to discourage me. And the work that I'm putting in compounded to the point where I was a size 12 at 5 p.m. and a size 6 at 6 p.m. Like, that's how it registered in my brain because I hadn't been focused on results because I wasn't getting on the scale. I was just simply focused on keeping up with my good habits. I was focused on making this a lifestyle and wasn't really worried. It didn't matter to me at that point what the scale said. And so I didn't need the scale. And lo and behold, I didn't need the scale because my clothes told me that I was burning fat and I was getting fit because here I am 3 dress sizes down. And let's come back full circle to the progress photos for a minute because on this journey, what I learned is that the scale is not an accurate reflection of your efforts. It's not an accurate reflection of your progress. It's not an accurate reflection of what your end results are going to be because I actually hit 70 pounds down at the 9-month mark. And then 3 months later, I was the same weight, but you could tell that I was slimmer because I was doing a lot more strength training. I was building lean muscle mass and still burning fat. And again, the scale was telling me that I was the same weight, but it was obvious that I was much leaner. And then I had the tummy tuck at the 12-month mark. He only took away 1.5 pounds of loose skin, but you could look at me and tell that I was getting leaner. I was burning fat. I was getting stronger. And I didn't need the scale to tell me that. In fact, the scale told me that I was the same weight. Yet, the progress photos showed me that I could be the same weight, but my body could actually look very different even at that same weight. And so I figured out that the combination of the clean eating plus the cardio plus the lifting weights actually was recompositioning my body, even though I was the same weight on the scale. So I was burning fat and I was getting leaner, and none of that was registering on the scale, yet my body looked very different. So if nothing else, I hope that this video encourages you, if you're a woman who finds yourself being discouraged by the scale, to put away the scale and to just simply focus on those good healthy habits that you need in order to create this a lifestyle. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what the scale says. You have to eat clean anyway. You have to get in movement anyway. You have to pick up the weights anyway if you want to maintain it once you lose it. So I just encourage you to take that scale and put it in a closet or put it under your bed and just commit to staying off of it. Don't let it discourage you with its ups and downs, because it is not an accurate reflection of the work that you're putting in, as long as you're putting in the work. Because I promise you, even if it doesn't reflect on the scale, it will reflect in the mirror. You will have a physical transformation. You will look better. You will feel better. You will be stronger and feel stronger. And that, my friends, is the most important part. If this video has been helpful to you, take a moment and give it a thumbs up so that other ladies just like you can find it and learn more. And if you haven't joined the Get Fit community yet, take a moment and hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you here as part of the community. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.